information. No, it says staying on top, right? Let's see, who would like to help us read, guys? And let's see, we got 70 lines, so we can have 5 lines per person. Who'd like to help us reading?
I would like to.
Yeah. Okay. Let's have Geraldine and then Maggie and then oh my I'm gonna put you like you are on the list here. Okay. You start, Geraldine, please.
Okay. Um, in today's world of instant celebrities and short attention spans, it's rare for anybody to stay in the limelight year after year. But when we look at Adam Levine, that's exactly what we see, a superstar singer and TV show personality.
Adam has been in the public eye since his band Maroon 5 released their first album in 2002. So, just how does he do it? Finding a balance between staying true to himself and adapting to the times. Adam has never been better as he redefines what it means to be a star.
Very good, thank you.
Born in 1979 in Los Angeles, California, Adam has always been near the center of American celebrity, and yet his fame was not instant. And unlike many other popular young musicians, his image was not manufactured by a recorded label.
Very good. Now, this one you pronounce manufacture. No, very good. Manufacture. Good. Who else would like to read? Let's have Aide, Alan,
Yes.
Dana.
Yes, teacher.
Okay. 5 and 5. Then Aide continues here.
Instead, in 1894, he formed a rock group with his high school friends called Caras Flowers. After signing a record deal, they experienced early failure, selling only 1,000 albums, and eventually split up. At this point, Adam's ability to adapt became apparent.
Very good. Thank
Moving
you.
away from okay.
Sorry. Then is Alan's turn. Thank you so much. 5 lines, eh? Alan reads from 20 to 20, well, 24, 25. Until here, please.
Moving away from the style of his original band, Adam formed a new group, Maroon 5, with some of the same members, and they began experimenting with different genders. After testing our alternative rock, country, and folk music, the band finally settled on the group-based dance music that we associated with the band today.
There you go. This one, just for everybody, we pronounce it genre. Genre.
Genre.
Right? Like generous. The pronunciation is genre. Very good, very good. Continue, Dana, please, on this one.
Putting our first album.
Oh, Dana and then Renee. Let's have Dana and then Renee.
Putting out their first album in 2002, yes?
Yeah.
Just don't ask Adam. Just don't ask Adam what genre is his now. He refused to say and tried to, how do you say that word, teacher? Avoid?
Yeah, like that, exactly. Avoid.
And what's mean?
Like evitar.
Okay. Avoid being tripped by labels. Always looking to round, the band has continued to collaborate with many different artists in different genres, including Alicia Keys.
Very good. Remember, this one we pronounce it trapped. No, when you finish with ed after a p, sounds like a d. Trapped. And remember, this one we say genre or genres. No, it's not the same as gender, because gender is like sex, like masculine, feminine. But when we say genre, it's like music, movies, and that stuff, right? Good. Okay. Well, Renee, continue, mister, including.
including Alicia Keys, R&B, slash rock and roll, and Eminem hip hop. On the flip side, there has been great considered in Ada's music career. Despite opportunities and pressure to become a solo artist, Adam has stuck with his band and has no desire to go solo.
Solo. Very good. All right. Until there. Thank you, mister. Uh-huh. This one we say consistency. No, consistency. Okay. Very good. Let's have Elida, Jesus, Tony, and Kate. Please help us read, guys. Here. Are you there, Elida? Yeah. Okay. Please. Yeah. You pronounce it US in the US? Hmm, It's okay. Mhm. Very good. Thank you. Okay, next.
What's the
Mister-
question here?
Which one?
When you read 12 period point,
No, in that case, you say 12.9. Uh-huh,
okay,
12.9. You use period when you talk about like writing, but writing like grammatically. Because when you talk about
oh,
numbers, then you say point, because this is like
point,
quantities. Mm-hmm. You're welcome. You're welcome. And one thing I was gonna tell Alida, remember on this case, I mean, since it has an exclamation sign, you need to put more emotion. It's like who can blame him, right? It's okay, it's okay, right? Just remember to pay attention because, like we were saying before, the intonation is important. No, obviously this is not like the end of the world, but like no, who can blame him? No, like more emotion, right? Very good, very good. Okay, next one. Jesus, please, from here all the way to, well, like here.
Sorry, teacher. I or I don't know if
You.
there's another Jesus on the question.
No, you're the only one. The thing is that the other one, the one that says Jaden Jesus, it was somebody else, but with a different account. That's
Oh,
why.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
For 40 year, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. His personal life also reflects these two aspects of his personality: adaptability and consistency. In terms of change, his past and present are drastically different. Now, earlier in his life as a ladies' man, Adam has refocused his priorities and is now a family man with a wife, daughter, and another child expected soon.
There you go. This one, you say refocused, right? Because it sounded like refuck. It's refocused, right? Very good, very good. Okay. Let's see. Tony, help us read, Mr. Please, from here all the way to the end of 50.
Yes. And talk the band, his tattoos and his good looks might cause some people to believe he leads a traditional bad boy rock and roll lifestyle. In reality, Adam considers himself a spiritual person. He's a vegan and he practices yoga daily.
There you go. Very good. Oh, one thing I was going to tell. This one, you pronounce it correctly. No, it was Aldo. And this one we pronounce it though. Though, no? It means like a pesar de. Though, though. Very good. Thank you, mister. Let's have Kate, Leslie, and well, Maggie read at the beginning. So let's have Concepcion, please.
Yes.
Mhm.
Since 2002, the public spotlight has continued to shine brighter and brighter on Adam. And even if you don't know him, you don't know his music, you might know him as a coach on the popular TV series The Boys, which he has been doing since 2011.
Good. Thank you. This one, desde, we pronounce it since, right? Very good, very good. Thank you. Okay, Leslie,
Yes,
help
or
us read here.
perhaps you have
Mhm.
seen ads for one of his many business ventures, including his own men's fragrance, his clothing collection, his record label, and the list goes on. He even started acting so now you can see him on even more screens and is clearly very self-aware of his celebrity ima- image and isn't ashamed of it.
Mhm. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This one, because I heard that a couple people mention it differently. This one we pronounce it label, label, right? But yeah, very good. Thank you so much. Let's have, well, I believe is Concepcion.
Yes.
Help us
Can you hear me?
read. Yes, yes. Help us read until here, please.
Okay. He knows how lucky he is and doesn't pretend otherwise. He even named his band's 2012 album Overexposed, describing how his image could be seen everywhere. So, why isn't the public sick of him? The answer may be his honesty.
There you go. Thank you so much. Let's have now Mariana, please.
Sorry,
Yeah.
when you read, um, he
When,
even named his bands uh,
mhm,
2012. How do you say it?
mhm. In this case, if we're talking about an album, you can say 2012 or 2012
Um,
typically. And well, maybe if you or somebody else didn't know, when we talk about years, we normally divide them into pairs like 2012. If you say
oh,
2012 is fine, but if you say 2012 is okay too, because of course with 2000 is not so long, but when you say 1967 sounds like a lot of speaking, and in that case we would say 1967. No, for example, on this one you can say 2002 or you can say 2002. In this case you don't say zero, you say 2002. This one you would say 2011. No, on this one, for example, would say 1994 in pairs. Only with years, right? Because when you say numbers like money or other things, then you have to read it completely. Because otherwise it could be confusing. No? But yeah, in this case, you say he even named his band's 2012 or his band's 2012 album Overexposed. Overexposed, right? Very good. Thank you, thank you. So who was next? Oh, Mariana?
Um, more
Here.
than anything, Adam values his independence. He once tried talking media training, but says it was stupid. Now he just says what he means and doesn't worry if everyone agrees or not. In fact, in an interview with USA Today, Adam said, I get myself in trouble all the time, and I prefer that. I can always talk and defend myself.
Mm-hmm. There you go, right? Very good. Yeah. Just this one is taking, because you said talking. and it's a different thing. And yeah, just like you mentioned, this one, guys, since it's the simple present of the verb to say, we pronounce it says, right? Because many people tend to read it like it is, and they say, size, or says. And the correct pronunciation is says, says. And when in past, just like this one, we pronounce it said, just like Mariana did, right? Says, said, said. Or like in Spanish, como sed de tomar agua, ¿no? Like that, right? Very good, very good. Now, did you guys knew so much information about Adam Levine or not so much?
Not so much.
Not so much, right?
I have two questions, Professor.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
What is a label?
A label is like, in Spanish is disquera. Well, in this case, it talks about like a record label, disquera, like the company that produces albums. But now he has his own. But you know that for some artists to become popular, they need to have something, they need to go with a big record label like Universal, Warner, no? Now
And
it's now it's easier because everybody can record in their own house, but you don't get the same quality, no? Yeah. What was the other question?
what's the difference between although and though?
Um, mm, Although and though, but they're kind of the same, actually. Although and though, yeah. It's not like a big difference because both of them, you can interpret them, not translate, but interpret like, sin embargo, a pesar de, uh, though could be also like aunque in Spanish, right?
Okay, thank you.
There you go. Very
Is
good.
it like however?
Uh, yeah, also, however, yeah. It's a synonym, well, a similar expression, I should say.
Okay.
It's like when you say, however, nevertheless, though, mm, yeah, despite, that's another one. Yeah, it's basically the same idea, but obviously you adapt it to the context that you're saying or whatever you're saying.
Okay.
And
When you
you're
say,
welcome.
because I have heard even though and though. When can you use even though or
Mhm.
only though?
The thing is that when you use though, again, it's like a pesar de, sin embargo, but when you add the word even, is to put a little bit more emphasis. So what I'm saying is you can say, we went to the movies, though it was very late, no? And you can also say, we went to the movies, even though we knew the movie already started.
Oh,
¿No? Like to put a little bit more emphasis on something that, like, a pesar de que ya había pasado algo o estaba pasando, you still did it. Or you still do it because it could be present too.
okay, thank
Yeah, they even is a little bit more emphasis, yes. And this one, I'm sorry, yeah?
Yes. What does it mean on the flip side?
On the flip side is an expression like on the other hand, like del otro lado, el otro lado de la moneda, por otro lado. Yeah, it's like saying on the other hand, on the other part of the story. Yes, on the flip side. And this one I was gonna tell you, ventures. You know what is venture?
No.
Venture is like emprender, no? In this case, it's like una empresa, like business, but no empresa de company, sino empresa de emprender, like mi empresa es lograr whatever. Not like a physical thing. That's why it says here.
Like a goal?
Sort of. It's like, yeah, like a goal, but it's like a project, more like a project. It's a project, yeah. Business venture is, in this case, obviously related to making money and selling or doing things and so on. But yeah, business ventures is like proyecto de negocios, no? There you go. And yeah, like we were saying with the picture, well, do you have any other question, guys, about the text and what we read?
I just have a doubt about pronunciation of imagen. I heard it sometimes and I always thought it was image or is image.
Oh no, it's image.
Okay.
The emphasis on the I is image. We don't say image or image.
Okay.
In this case, it's only two vowels. Sorry, two vowels, two syllables. Sorry. No, let me put it here. When we say, I'm gonna put it here, image. No? Even though it has 5 letters, is image. Because remember that this E is mute. You don't pronounce it. So it's only 2 syllables, image. And one of the exercises I share with my students is when you have a question, well, a doubt about how to pronounce something, just like in Spanish, do the the la 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 exercise. That's how we call it. No, teacher, we call it like that. Where just like in Spanish, if you have this word and you say it with the 2 or 3 different pronunciations, and you realize which one sounds better and sounds more natural. So which one do you think is here is image or image? No?
Okay.
Uh-huh. And when you have a longer word, for example, this one right here, no, hold on a second. Like this one has 3 syllables, it's popular, no? But which one sounds better? Popular, popular, or popular? Is la la la, la la la, la la la. No? So popular, popular, popular. And then you based on the things that you have heard before, you say, oh yeah, well, I'm not gonna say popular in English, no? Because in Spanish, if we put it in Spanish, is popular, popular, or popular, right? And that exercise works a lot and helps a lot because, like I always tell, even though you're not an expert on the language, since you have heard many words before and you kind of follow the rhythm, you have the grasp of the rhythm. When you hear someone pronouncing something with a different accent, we say in English, it rings a bell, no? The expression rings a bell, we said it before, right? It's like te hace ruido, te suena raro, like you say, there's something going on, no? Like it doesn't sound right, no? I had the word focus. Why?
Because I have problems pronouncing it.
Ah, focus,
Yeah.
focus. Because the pronunciation is focus, and many people say focus.
What? Yeah.
And you don't say focus. Because even if you say
sounds
focus,
a little different.
Yeah.
Sounds different because technically sounds. I mean, if you say this, now, let me put it here. If you put these 2 words, right? Let me put it here. If you say focus, no, it's the same. but you can tell because this U is very brief. You say focus or focus. This one sounds more like a O. This one is focus. A and okay. O. So it's not the same to say focus or focus, right? But again, we don't say focus. For example, this one, no. Another one that happens a lot is when they say this word. The correct pronunciation is cucumber. Cucumber. And many people say cuckoo, cucumber. And it's QQ.
Actually, I thought that it was cucumber.
Cucumber.
How you say it?
Cucumber.
Cucumber? It's cucumber. Cucumber.
Oh.
Cucumber, right? Yes. And I mean, again, since we have many homophones, words that sound the same, but you write it differently, or homographs that you write it the same, but but we pronounce it differently. That's the part where it gets interesting, no? Let me tell you the story that I always tell my students. Do you know what is the word for, what is the meaning of cook? What is the meaning of coke? And what is the meaning of cock, right? This one is cook, coke, and cock, right? And I tell my students that once, like, I don't know, like 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago, when I was in class, we were in a class, and we were in a classroom where it was kind of hot, not exactly hot, but like kind of warm. And I was writing something on the board, and one of the students, he was, sir, he was like, I don't know, like a little older. Well, not older, he was like, I don't know, like 50 or something. But it was funny, not because he was old. The thing is that the way he said it, everybody was like, what? Because you know that cook is the verb, coke is the typical name for Coca-Cola, and cock means gallo, right? But in the pornographic environment, you know, it means like if you were say, you know, like pene, pero con la palabra despectiva, ¿no? Well, not despectiva, like the other one, the one with the V, you know what I'm saying? And I was writing something on the board, and he said, "Oh my God, teacher is so hot. I want a cock." And I was like, "What?" I turned around like, "What?" And they were like, "Yes, teacher, I'm hot. I want a cock." And I was like,
Oh my God.
"No, you don't want that." And they were like, "Yes, teacher, I want a cock." And I was like, when we pronounce teeth and T, no? Because to do the TH sound, it's not impossible, but it's kind of complicated for the Spanish speaking people. So when we're doing the plural, I always tell them it's teeth, 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 and they go like teeth, teeth. And again, this might be confusing because you may be saying this one, that again, in the pornographic environment, you're talking about, you know, the women's breast, no? But of course, and even the other one is when you say sheet, like paper sheet, and the other one, no, this one. In the end, it's a matter of practice because this one you say shit, sounds very brief, like very short. You say shit, and this other one is sheet. But of course, when you don't have the practice and you're saying it quick or whatever, then you can get in trouble too, no? So again, just be careful with the pronunciation on those things because it might be funny, all right? It might be so embarrassing
Sorry,
that
teacher.
you don't want to do it again. Yes.
What does sheet means?
Oh, sheet is hoja like the
Oh yeah.
papel, paper sheet,
Uh-huh.
or also like sábanas, no? Sábana like for the bed.
Okay.
But many people when they pronounce it quick, it sounds like shit. See, you hear that it says is sheet, shit, sheet,
Yes, yes.
shit,
You're right.
and everybody laughs because it's the same thing as another story when we say beach or when we say bitch. Many people laugh, many people find it funny, which is funny, but this one, the pronunciation is beach, beach, like a little E sound, but this one is bitch, bitch. This one is like short, brief, right? Uh-huh. Ice cream or ice cream, right? Yeah. Check on the That happened to me too. When speaking with the example that Marianne is writing, that you say ice cream or ice cream. Huh? It's very brief, but again, it's a matter of practicing again and again and again so you can tell the difference. But obviously, if somebody that you know, your friend or somebody says, uh, you know, one of the two pronunciations, then the context tells you what the person is talking about. No? And if it's funny, I tell them it's okay to laugh because then you keep it more in your mind. And next time you will pay more attention when saying these type of words. No? And obviously, you don't do it with intention of offending anybody or whatever, right? That's the important part too, right? Well, yeah, I mean, like I say, pay attention on those stories so that way next time you have to talk about whatever, and like my test says, you say focus, focus, no? Instead of focus, right? Imagine. Very good, very good. You have any other question, guys? Boys and girls, all of you? No? No? Wow, good gemacht. Okay. Then picture A, we got this guy now on the chair, the typical chair from the reality show. Well, it's not a reality. What is it called? Is it a reality show?
TV
No,
show?
right? TV
Talent show.
show. Ah, there you go. A talent show. Exactly.
Talent
Yeah,
show.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
It's a talent show. Yeah. Because the thing is, some of the talent shows are mixed with a reality part, and
Mm-hmm.
some others are more like just the presenting that day. Because you know that in these type of stories they follow where they came from and the family and blah blah blah. No.
Mm.
On picture B, well, there is a concert, a presentation, and this one, well, I guess is the wife and the kid. No. Do you know who is his wife? Any ideas?
No.
No idea, right?
Mm-mm.
Who knows? But yeah, like you would see him like that again, and he looks like very serious, like again, family man and stuff. But when you see the aspect of the tattoos and the rock person and blah blah blah, like he says here, no, they think many people think he's like a single bachelor going around meeting girls and blah blah blah, right? Many artists are actually married and they have family and stuff, but we don't know that because we just see the artist part, the artistic part, I should say, right? Well, going back to the questions we were doing before, no, we were supposed to do. When did Maroon 5 release their first album? 2002. What would be the name of the question for answer number two?
What was the name of his first band?
What was the name of his first band? No? There you go. Letter C, group-based dance music.
What is the style of the band?
Yeah, what is the style of the band? What is the type of music that he plays? No? Yeah. What about Sharky?
What was his nickname?
What was, we can even say what is his nickname. No? He's not famous for it, but in the text says that he still has that nickname.
But
Good.
it's not in the past he used to have.
Yeah, but I mean, it says that he hasn't changed now. I mean, he hasn't changed the name, his name, not for an artistic one, but I guess like in his family, they call him like that, no? Or friends. Obviously, we don't know. We're just making a supposition, right? Good. What about yoga? What's the deal with the yoga?
How he relaxes.
How he relaxes. We can say, what does he do to relax? Right? What
Or
about
why does Levine consider himself a spiritual person?
uh yeah, but if you start a question with a why, then the answer
Oh,
would have to be like because this and that. Maybe if he
okay.
was like because he practices yoga, that could be acceptable, right? But I mean, again, as long as we transmit the idea, it's all right, right? Men's fragrance, clothing collection, and record label.
What kind of business ventures does he do?
What kind of business ventures does he do or does he have? Very good. What about coach? I mean, so the answer could be only coach. How can we formulate the question?
What was his role in The Voice, or what was he doing?
Yeah, we can say what was or what is. Because if you remember on the text, says
Still,
that since 2011 he does that. So it
since
means it
okay.
continued, right?
Okay. What is?
Yeah, what is or what was, yes.
What
Coach.
has done on TV?
What, sorry?
What has done on TV?
What has done on TV? Yeah. What has he done? Even you can even say the name, no? Like what has he done on The Voice?
What
No?
is on the pulse?
Coach. Or what was his role on the Voice? Coach. Very good. And the last one, People Magazine.
Which magazine has he participated?
There you go. Very general, right? What magazine has he participated? What magazine has he been interviewed? Like we were saying about the most handsome men in the world, what magazine named him the hottest or most handsome guy in the world? Whatever. Because that's a thing they do every year, I believe. So I mean, obviously it's changing and so on, right? But of course, People's Magazine's opinion might not be the same as yours. Many people would find Adam Levine like the hottest guy ever. And well, some others might be like, you know, right? Of course, right? Okay, let's go with the next part. Decide if the statements are true or false, and let's correct the wrong ones. In recent years, Adam's popularity has been declining.
False.
False. How can we make it right?
Has been growing.
Has been growing, yes, right? We can even say that has stayed the same, but obviously has been growing because now he's
More
doing more
popular.
things. Other stuff.
Less.
Letter B says, yeah, letter B says, Adam's band did well commercially right from the start of his career.
False.
False.
False, right? Exactly. How can we make it right?
Did not well commercially.
Adam's band did not do well commercially right from the start of his career, right? We just add that. Good. Letter C says his record label was not responsible for the look or sounds of his band.
True.
True, right? In some cases, the record label gives the freedom to the bands to, manage the way they like. But in some others, as we know, they don't do that because obviously what record labels want is to sell more records, get more money, blah, blah, blah. So if you have this, how can I say, this proposal of, let's say, alternative music or something that people feel is not going to work, then they ask you to change it or suggest you to do something more commercial, right? And so on. Very good. Letter D says, Adam is excited in the future to release an Adam Levine album.
False.
False, right? How can we correct it?
Is Adam is not excited.
Mhm. Adam is not excited in the future to release an Adam Levine album, right? He actually loves his mates and stuff now. These days, health and his relationships are high priorities for Adam.
True.
True.
Yeah, right? What do we mean by high priorities?
Family.
Mhm. Family, no? The daughter, I think they mentioned a daughter, the wife. Maybe after the music stuff, he will dedicate more to the, no, to the clothing, the fragrances and all that, right? And of course, priorities change with time. Adam doesn't really know what the public thinks about him.
False.
False, right? Why is it false?
Because he's really aware about what the public thinks about him,
Mm-hmm. But
but he doesn't care.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the thing, right? He is aware, but now he's like, he doesn't really care. Which it could be good, it could be bad. Because you know that now, if you say that out loud, people can like turn their back on you and not follow you or whatever. Many people
Cancel
applaud.
you.
Yeah,
It's so
yeah.
popular to cancel everything.
In the last times, it's so popular to like whatever I don't like, I'm gonna cancel it. No, and just because they disagree in something very, very, very simple, cancellation is like, oh God, no.
Teacher, I
Yeah.
can make you a question.
Yes, of course.
Well, over finish the class
Well, what?
because
Sorry.
um when I finish the class because I need to go to the dentist.
We're finishing at 12:40. We'll finish this session, goes all the way to 12. Then we have another session from 12 to 12:40. At what time do you have your appointment?
I think I need to go a little bit early, like 12:20, because the six is the 12:04.
Yeah. Okay, okay. You can, mister. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. No, yeah. No, of course, of course. Again, I mean, like I always tell, well, all of you are grown-ups, but besides that, I mean, as we advance, it's okay, no problem. Yeah, yeah, actually, some others couldn't make it to the second part, but that's all right. No problem, no problem. I do have a meeting today too, but it's until 1:30, so I can do it right on time, right? Actually, next week, guys, since December, March the 21st, we have there is a suspension for Benito Juarez's Day. Uh, we're gonna finish a little earlier because we have to like deduct the celebration, no? And that's not because I want to. That's actually a thing that the school tells us. So next week we'll probably finish like around 12, more or less. We're just gonna deduct like one session from there, right? And of course, if you guys work on Monday the 21st, we are not supposed to go to work and stuff. And so, no, thank you, Benito, right? What can we say, no? Yeah, yeah, no problem, mister. Yes, you can go, no problem.
Okay,
Just,
thank you.
just, you're welcome. Just like some others that I told already, when you need to leave early or whatever, just ask either on the group or someone until what point did we advance, so that way you can answer and just be on the same page. And next time we continue working where we left. where we left off, right? Good.
Right.
You're welcome, sir. Check it really quick with the vocabulary part. The article on Adam Levine talks about redefining stardom and refocusing priorities. We're going to cross out the one that doesn't fit, that you cannot make a verb with re, no, with the re, according to the word formation panel, right? You know that re or re is a prefix that means to do something again. So some things we cannot do that. No, it's funny because even in Spanish, guys, some people, and I always laugh because, I mean, besides the fact that I studied communications and I'm very picky with orthography and expression and all that, I don't know if you do it, pero hay mucha gente que dice, lo vuelvo a repetir. And you say, okay. So you're saying it 4 times, 3 times, 2 times, how many? No? Because pleonasmo or the pleonasm happens a lot. No? There are some of them very obvious when you say súbete para arriba, bájate para abajo, salte para afuera, stuff like that. To the ones that don't look like when you say, en mi opinión personal, and you say, well, if it's your opinion, it's already personal, no? Desde mi punto de vista, and you say, well, of course, right? I mean, if it's your point of view, it's your own opinion. Or the typical one, vuelvo a repetir. That's another pleonasm that is not correctly applied. So here, we're going to cross out the one that doesn't match, doesn't fit, doesn't correspond. No? Change, do, define, or focus.
Change.
Can we say rechange?
No.
Nah.
All right. Redo, redefine, refocus, right? There you go. So obviously, change, we're going to cross it out. No? Rearrange, reorganize, re-prepare, or reschedule. Which one doesn't sound natural, doesn't sound correct?
Prepare.
Yeah, right? Imagine that you say, I'm going to re-prepare the food. No? I'm going to re-prepare my car or my whatever. No? Yes. Rearrange, reorganize, reschedule. Rebuild, reconstruct, re-erect, or remake.
Erect.
Erect, right? Imagine like re-erect. That sounds like, what? Sounds weird, though. Even if you don't speak English, you hear it and you say like, that doesn't sound right. No? Reconsider, recontemplate, re-examine, or rethink.
Contemplate.
Contemplate.
I think it's reconfident.
Right? Recontemplate, yeah. Even to pronounce sounds weird because you have never said it before, so, right? Recopy, redraft, reword, or rewrite.
Copy.
Copy.
Recopy, are you sure?
I think it's word.
Word.
Copy.
Word. Recopy, redraft, reword, or rewrite.
Copy.
Copy? Yeah, word? Well, the answer, yeah, like we said, is copy, right? Because when you copy something, you cannot copy it again. In that case, you will make another copy, right? What is reword?
Volver a decir.
Well, when spoken, yeah, but in this case we talk about writing. Like rewrite and reword is a synonym.
Okay.
Because when you want to say something, I mean, like again, then you would say rephrase.
Okay.
That you say something and the person doesn't understand and you say, okay, let me rephrase it. No, let me put it again in different words. Simpler words.
I understand that reward is to say the same but using another words.
Exactly. Yeah, is reward or rephrase, those are synonyms, right? You're correct. But the thing is that reward and rephrase are for the spoken part, and for the written part, of course, is rewrite or reward. In Spanish, we would say for the written part, parafrasear, right? Or reescribir, right?
Okay.
Remember that reword something is like parafrasear. Again, say the same with different words, but in a written form, right? And what is redraft?
Like, it sounds like writing something. Um, I don't know how to say it.
Is related to that? Is related to that? Because remember, draft is like in Spanish would say bosquejo, boceto, like borrador.
Yeah.
So it could be in a drawn way, in a written way, in a spoken way, right? So the redraft is like you did the
Try.
preliminary, yeah, the first attempt, the first try
Version.
of something, the first version. There you go. And then you want to redraft is like correct a little bit, but it's still not the final version, no? Like when you need to write something important and you do like 1 or 2, 3 drafts, so then you can be eliminating unnecessary stuff and blah blah blah. But yeah, just like I was saying too, no? That's the idea. And finally, rediscover, refind, relocate, or reunite.
Relocate.
Find.
Yeah. What is relocate?
Refine.
Move to another place.
To a new place, because find, if you find something, you cannot find it again, right? It's like people say in Spanish, and I always tell them that when they say es casi perfecto, no? Completamente perfecto. Or when
Entonces
they
no es
say
perfecto.
exactly. Or when they say completamente gratis, and you say, well, if it's gratis, it's because it's completamente gratis. It cannot be casi gratis or incompletamente gratis. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the deal, to analyze a little bit on those expressions and identify, of course, because in many cases, again, we say things that we don't really do it intentionally, but then with the flow of the conversation or whatever, we don't pay attention on it. But it is important, no? Really quick, what is the meaning, guys, of rearrange? The ones we got here.
Reacomodar.
We'll say it in Spanish, eh? Reacomodar. Rebuild.
Reconstruir.
There you go. What about reconsider?
Reconsiderar.
Considerar. There you go, right? Reconstruct.
Reconstruir.
Reconstruir.
Reconstruir. What is the difference between reconstruct and rebuild?
Rebuild is more about buildings, could be, and reconstruct could be about whatever, whatever you're doing.
Rebuild is more like a physical type of thing, like physical, breaks and stuff like that. And reconstruct is more like a mental type of thing, like ideas and thoughts and stuff like that, right?
Okay.
What about rediscover?
Redescubrir.
What is the difference between rediscover and in this case only find? Because it's not refined.
Find es encontrar y el otro es reencontrar. O sea, que volver a encontrar
Descubrir.
lo mismo.
Yeah, a little bit more accurate is like descubrir. But if you say redescubrir, what does it mean? When you say
Maybe
redescubrir?
that you know something, or maybe you can say I'm rediscovering myself or rediscovering somebody, like knowing another side of that. I think it's something like that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Es como volver a empezar algo que ya habías hecho, pero que lo habías dejado, ¿no?
not exactly, because that one would be retake, like retomar. In the case of the discover, let's say you investigate or by some situation you discover something, an idea or like personal whatever. But when you say rediscover, like you said, you find another side of the same thing. Or based on whatever you had discovered before, you have another things, some other things, some other characteristics, some other point, some other detail, right?
Second luck could be.
It's like adding more to what you already have. like agregar más cosas de lo que ya sabías o ya habías descubierto. But yeah, and when we say the other one, the find, again, once you find it, that's it. No? Very good, very good. What about, well, redo? That one is simpler.
Rehacer.
Do something one more time. Doesn't mean it's good or bad. It's like do it again. No? We said redraft again, re-examine. What is re-examine?
Reexaminar.
But how can you explain it? What does it mean re-examinar?
Double check, kind of.
Yeah. To verify one more time, besides the one you did, just to make sure to double check that everything is in order or everything is the way you want it. How many of you guys re-examine when you have to turn in some homework or whatever?
Me.
Huh? And if you don't, you should, right? Especially when it's like a written type of thing, because many of us were like, I finish, save, send, that's it, I'm done. Some of us check it, we examine, but I always do like a double check, a double verification, just in case that by some silly error or whatever, something is misspelled or I don't know, right?
I used to miss words.
For
I feel
example,
like I think faster than I write.
uh-huh. And one of the situations lately
So do
is
I.
that, but what?
So I do that. I miss words when I will typing. I don't know
Uh-huh.
why. Or spell incorrectly.
Yeah. Or the other thing that I was mentioning, those two you mentioned and the one that Maggie mentioned is true. But the one I was talking about is now that we have the autocorrect on our phones, we're typing so fast that you send it and the autocorrect tries to correct the way it thinks is right. And then you send it and you say something you didn't want to, and then you have to go with the little stars and, oh, sorry, this wasn't the word, blah, blah, blah. So don't trust completely the autocorrect, right? Because it will correct the way that grammatically thinks is correct. And maybe you're trying to write something different. No? But that's the idea, no? Always double check, and if possible, triple check. No? I have seen many occasions, things from serious companies that there are people especially paid to check on that. In Spanish, we call them corrector de estilo. And that you cannot believe how a big company like, I don't know, Pepsi or Coca-Cola or big companies, they still have those mistakes. And you say, oh, are you serious? I mean, they pay people just for that. Like we say, like the joke, no? Tenías solo un trabajo and you still screwed up. You know? Come on. Good. Then we got redefine, relocate, remake, reorganize. Those are very easy to understand. What about refocus? What is refocus?
Reenfocar.
But what does it mean? How can you explain it? I mean,
Concentrarse.
what did you say, Wendy?
Que volver a concentrarse como cuando te distraes. Es como, ay, me tengo que concentrar, algo así.
Yeah, because what Maggie says concentrarse, but the refocus is if you lost track of whatever you were doing, go back to concentration. Like eliminate distractions and put your attention in one thing. Obviously, if necessary, right? Reschedule, rethink, reunite, reward, and rewrite. We said it, right? What about reschedule?
What is reunite?
Oh, what is reunite, guys?
Unite again.
Like put together one more time. No? For example, reunite.
The old bands, for example.
Friends. Like an old group of friends you had, and then you get together. Get together like be in touch, not get together forever, right? When we talk about music and stuff, in that case, yes, it does apply, because it could be reunite like only for one day or for one occasion, or reunite forever. or for a long time. No? Like reunir, right? There you go. And well, reschedule to change the happening time of something for another occasion. No?
Teacher, what's the difference between redo and remake?
I was gonna ask that actually. You got my words. What is that's the final one. What is the difference between redo and remake, guys? To begin, what is the difference between make and do?
Make is with your hands, no? Like something manual or
Physical.
yeah. And do is more with your intelligence, with
That is one aspect. That is one aspect that remake is well, make is like something physical, do is more like mental. But there is one more important thing. When you make, obviously related to that, you create, you produce something, no? But something more physical, like make dinner, make a house, make something. And but when you say do is like following a process, several steps to do something, not necessarily having a product, no? So it could be like do the homework. So you need to follow the steps on, no? Open the book, read the instructions, look for information, write it on your
Like
book, blah, blah, blah.
activities or something?
Yeah, processes in general, like homework, cleaning your house. That in the end, the product is like having a clean house, for example, but you don't really produce anything. You just follow steps and that's it. And obviously, with the remake and redo is not the same idea. Like if you did something and it didn't work, then you need to redo the steps, redo the process to make it correctly or the way you want it. And the remake is like you did something, you produced something that you want to make it again, either with a better ending, with a better product, or a remake, because there are remake or remaking things like exactly the same, but in a newer version, like movies, like songs, no? That's one of the typical ones with movies and songs that they copy literally the same songs, the same chords, the same takes, the same whatever, and it's like a carbon copy, right? You know what is a carbon copy?
yeah.
Right?
Los pasantes le decíamos aquí.
Papel pasante. The thing is that when you write emails, guys, for the ones that don't know, when you want when it says CC stands for carbon copy. Like the email that you're sending to a person, you also send it to another individual, but the main recipient doesn't know that you're sending a copy. It's like a hidden copy, no? That in this case, well, the carbon copy is visible, but the other one is oh gosh, I lost it in Spanish. In Spanish is copia oculta, I believe is the name.
Con copia, ¿no?
The thing is that CC is con copia, but yeah, it's
CCO.
CCO. CCO, yeah.
Con
CCO
copia
is
oculta.
exactly. Yeah. That's the one I'm saying. Con copia oculta, exactly. But in English, it's like carbon copy. That's what CC stands for. And I don't remember what's the other. But yeah, it's like same thing, no, same concept. No, hidden carbon copy. I don't remember. But that's the deal, no? And the thing is that when you're writing an email, for example, these examples apply, no? That's why you make an email. You don't do an email, no? You make an email, right? Or in this case, let me write an email, right? Very good, very good. Okay. So after reading this information, we're gonna check on some of the expressions from the glossary, right? Some of them are, of course, very easy to understand, and some others are not so much. Attention span, no? In Spanish, how do we say attention span? Do you know?
Tiempo de atención.
In Spanish?
Uh-huh. tiempo de atención could be, but not, that's not the most accurate term. In Spanish, we say ventana de atención, right? So many people has a very short attention span that you're telling them, do this, do this. 3 seconds later, they're lost in other ideas. And some others can concentrate a lot more, right? Obviously, depends on how interesting is whatever you're doing for you and how much do you care about it. Because I can, think that something is very interesting, but if the person that's giving it is not, for me doing it right, then I'm gonna get lost in thought. That's one of the expressions too that we use. You know what is lost in thought?
Como like lost in the things, no, in the words, like.
Mm-hmm. Like losing concentration and start thinking about life or I don't know other stuff. No, get lost in thought. How many of you, I mean, not you exactly, but like students, you're in a class and then you turn to the window and then you start thinking about why the bird is there or why the wind is moving the tree or blah, 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 blah. And then you go like, what? Or the teacher calls your attention, right? Yes, it happens a lot, right?